So, okay, let's talk about this game one. Let's jump right into it. I had my notes, I was writing it down throughout the game, and let's see what I came up with after the game, after well, not a rewatch, but after just, thinking through it, remembering the game, watching some highlights again. So, what I liked in the first quarter was the no call on Jokic at 10:30. I'm not sure if what clips I'm gonna show you, what I'm not gonna show you. I'll try to show as much as possible. We'll see. And I liked it they didn't call it on Jokic. He barely touched AD there, and it was just a no call. In playoffs, I think it's fair, and I think it just should be like this in the playoffs. So that was great for me to see. Also, they instantly got into transition. Transition defense is the Lakers' biggest weakness, as we all have probably heard throughout these playoffs. As we all know, they are really bad in transition for whatever reason. And then Schroeder went under on KCP or just got caught in the screens, and he was caught in screens a lot tonight. When he defended Jamal Murray, he got caught in those Jokic screens, couldn't do anything, not even flop his way out of it. So they were getting a lot of wide open shots in these handoffs, with Jokic handing it off to a shooter, whether it was Jamal Murray or KCP or even Bruce Brown, really. So those handoffs were working just beautifully for Jokic and Jamal and KCP. And of course, that begs the question: will the referees, that is, let them play, like this throughout the whole series, throughout the whole game? And they did for the first three quarters. Then in that fourth quarter, it got they started calling those ticky-tack fouls, and some would say non-playoff fouls, right? And most of them were fouls, but the thing is that it didn't fit the whole game, right? The first three quarters were reffed like a playoff game, and then the fourth quarter was reffed like they wanted to get the Lakers back in it. I'll be honest here. That's what it felt like to me. But also, Denver got, kinda caught off guard, and they also were fouling on a lot of the things. So it evened out. Not saying the refs are completely in Lakers' favor, but what I'm saying is that if they are calling tiki-taki fouls or those, touch fouls, it's really a huge advantage for the Lakers, that's for sure. And then I also liked the MPJ Austin Reeves matchup, where I think MPJ just has such a huge advantage. He has a wide open shot no matter how close Austin Reeves is, in a way, because obviously he has such a huge wingspan and a height advantage over him. So that's an interesting matchup, and I think MPJ will thrive in this series. Then also, after I saw this mismatch, I was like, yeah, this three-guard lineup does not feel logical. They wanted more offense, I guess, and more pace, but in the end, it just made them vulnerable on defense, and they were getting cooked. It's just what it is. And they'll probably start Rui, if you're, being logical, maybe Vanderbilt, but Rui makes a lot of sense, especially with the way, Jokic was thrown off guard by defending him, even though I think that's kind of a, how do you say it, bait? Is it a bait, or just, something that you're like, oh, that kind of worked, and it's gonna backfire for you in the second game if you try it again, especially from start of the game. We'll see what Darvin Ham does. But shout out to Darvin Ham, man. He has shown that he is not afraid to make adjustments, and most of them hit. And he's also just shown, hey, we're losing by a lot. Let me just try something. And whether it was Rui on Jokic, whether it was Lonnie Walker getting more minutes again, sitting D'Angelo Russell. Hey, he tries, and hey, why not, right? The game was looking over, and his adjustments not sure if made is the right word, but helped make this actually a really close and a good game in this second half. So Darvin Ham has shown a lot of good stuff as a coach, especially considering this is his first year as a head coach, and I'm really happy to see a coach that is actually trying to make a lot of adjustments in game, especially. We don't see it as often as we would like it, man. The in-game adjustments usually don't exist as much. There are a lot of out-of-game adjustments, especially in these playoffs. You could see that even Darvin Ham and Steve Kerr in those playoffs. There were some incredible adjustments in that series. So it's always fun to watch these chess matches, and I think in-game Darvin Ham has the advantage, but I think Mike Malone at the same time has the advantage out of the game. And I like Michael Malone's approach, man. He is taking this as seriously as possible. The guy is never happy in post games, man. He just wants to win the title, and I don't blame him. Also, Nuggets were fearless attacking off of closeouts. Whether it was getting to the paint with mid-range jump shots or layups, they were just fearless, and I loved it. I loved that they were attacking off closeouts and just getting at will to the paint against these Lakers. With LeBron, it was interesting that they were not pre-switching with Aaron Gordon, and they were willingly switching Murray on him. So LeBron could show his back to the basket game, and it didn't backfire for them until the fourth quarter, where LeBron finally got going. But it kind of worked before, I suppose. Not sure if it's a sustainable strategy, but I think they'll try the pre-switching or what the Warriors did. As obviously pre-switching or just going under those screens on LeBron. We'll see what they figure out, but I expect adjustments to be made there, because I don't think it's a good strategy to just willingly switch Jamal Murray on LeBron. Murray got into foul trouble late, and hey, LeBron could have abused him a little more, but he decided to settle for that three-pointer. So that is that. Also, Jokic and Anthony Davis minutes were mirroring. Hey, that's expected, I suppose. Second quarter, I also loved the adaptation from Jokic, where he got blocked at one possession and then he instantly adapted and went a lot quicker at Anthony Davis. And then a 5-0-3, I think it was, in that second quarter. He even got a dunk off of AD with the spin. So that was great to see. He absolutely was cooking Anthony Davis. And that was great. And I also had written down that D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Davis pick and roll were not so good, and that D'Angelo Russell was essentially not so good, which is true. He is just very inconsistent. So good thing is that Darvin Ham is not afraid to pull him, right? And well, he shouldn't be afraid to pull D'Angelo Russell, right? It's not like he's LeBron or something. But a lot of coaches will stick to the guys that on paper they should stick with, if we want to say it like that. Then Bruce Brown. I just wrote down Bruce Brown, man. I love Bruce Brown. He was great attacking, once again, mismatches, attacking those pick and rolls, those handoffs. And hey, here, that one huge dunk where I wrote Bruce Brown in cap space. In all caps. So that was awesome. Shout out Bruce Brown. Also, what we noticed is Rui will be much more playable in this series, thankfully, because, well, they don't play as much on the perimeter. They mix it up way more often than the Warriors, and Rui becomes instantly more playable, and he was once again great on offense. But of course, the rebounding is a question and / an issue. So we'll see, if the rebounding will cost them in this regard. Then I also said Schroeder is still a flopping B word, so yeah, that he is. That was on some of these screens, but Jokic gave it right back to him with those flops, so shout out to Jokic for that. You gotta play the game. I also liked MPJ's effort on defense. He got like 2 blocks on jump shots, and you just could see that he wants to be out there in those biggest moments. And there was a quote from Mike Malone that he went to him and said, "Hey, I understand if you want to play Bruce Brown over me in crunch time. I just want to win." And I think that is also shown on his effort on the defensive end, and he's been much better. Murray was also getting wide open looks, like I said, off of those handoffs. He was getting so many wide open looks that when he got hot, that it didn't matter, right? And then he started hitting those stuff shots, like that one in the fourth quarter with LeBron in his face, where they just showed thumbs up to each other, which was funny and nice. I also thought Denver was more physical, which was showcased on the rebounding part, I would say. Then I also had KCP wide open misses written down. That was at the start of the third quarter, some way through the third quarter, then he finally got hot and was hitting those wide open threes. He was getting so many good looks that he started to get hot. And he had 21 points, and I expected him to be as efficient as he was tonight, man. He was getting so many good looks. And it feels unsustainable for Denver, but hey, they've been doing it the whole season, and they create so many advantages on offense that it feels kind of sustainable to me, man. Especially considering how many games I watched of Denver this year. I just will not expect them to go completely cold. Of course, today it was almost a perfect game in a way, but at the same time, it did not feel unsustainable to me, considering the looks they were getting, to be quite honest with you. Then I also had written down every other game AD. It was much better in the series against the Warriors, but he still started off every other game AD. And I'm still not sold that he will be able to score 30 a game this series, and I think he'll need to if they want to win. I honestly think they do. I heard somebody talk about that he just needs to be great on defense, but I think he needs to be great on offense, man. I think he really needs to average at least 25, 28 points per game, and it would be nice if he averaged 30. He's off to a great start with 40, that's for sure, but we'll see what he does in game 2, that's for sure. Also, I like Jamal. Like I said, he got hot and then he got into those post-ups that he loves to do, and he has good matchups for those post-ups, those fadeaways, or I don't know if I should call them just fadeaways, I suppose, when he is posting up against Schroeder, against D'Lo, against Reeves, against Lonnie. Those are really good matchups for his post-ups, and he can get a lot of good looks, and he's very comfortable taking those shots, so that's really good for Denver. And then in the fourth quarter, what happened is that they started calling more touch fouls, which I touched already on previously in this breakdown, or however you want to call it, where they just didn't call it the same as they were calling it in the previous quarters, so that was advantage for the Lakers, obviously. And then Anthony Davis went on Aaron Gordon, Jokic had Rui Hachimura on him, and it's completely threw Denver and Jokic off. Then they adjusted later in that game where they were running pin downs and more pick and rolls, which created a lot of good looks. That was for KCP, for example, where he had that wide open look when they were still up 3 before LeBron missed his 3-pointer. Then KCP missed a wide open 3-pointer, which you live with, especially considering the way he was shooting that night. And Aaron Gordon should thrive off this matchup with Rui defending Jokic if they will go back to it, because he'll be placed in much better positions. He'll be left wide open, probably by Anthony Davis, and he'll have more opportunities to cut, to get wide open layups, maybe to get wide open 3-pointers. He has been shooting fairly well, even though I don't trust the guy shooting well. He shot 40% in the regular season, but I don't trust him completely shooting wise in the playoffs. But I hope he proves me wrong. I'm rooting for the Nuggets in this series, if you couldn't tell, so yeah. But Anthony Davis roaming on defense feels like a good strategy anyway, since he wasn't able to do anything to slow down Jokic. Maybe him being available to roam on defense just unlocks a little bit more from him anyway. I mean, nobody's gonna do much better or worse anyway on Jokic, and he's still gonna guard him from time to time, obviously, but maybe him roaming on defense is what can help unlock the defense. But I think Jokic is such a great passer that, he's gonna eventually get a feel and read on it, which he couldn't get in this fourth quarter of this game 1. And that's about it. There were not many turnovers in this game, which was intriguing. The rebounding, obviously, for Denver was great. The 3-point shooting was great for both teams, funny enough. So I'm expecting game 2 to be more like the game 2 between Denver and Phoenix, where it's just bad offense, where it's just both teams not able to make anything and much more physical defense. We'll see how the refereeing continues to go, and I'll make more videos like this. If you enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe, tell me in the comments that I did a good job. You did a good job too, and I love you all. See you.